Hey guys, welcome back to channel ToonPang. It is Jaden here again with an updated 60 card Lightsworn deck profile. It has become less about the Lightsworns and more about the whole field spamming aspect of the whole deck. So it is a little bit frustrating because I really want to play more pure Lightsworns, but they're just not as competitively viable, I would say, in comparison to this. This variant, I tried to make it less of a glass cannon. It is still very much susceptible to negates, but it does play through better than I think the last build. Hopefully there should be like a tag in the corner or something you can go check out the last build and compare them from this one. So JD has been completely removed from this build, but we have replaced it with a new boss monster, which I think is actually really cool. Still got really a lot of board wipes and everything else, and it's still 60 cards because I really wanted to play 60 cards. But again, without grass, it is not as good, but playing 60 cards, hopefully we don't see garnets as much. Yeah, so we're gonna get straight into it. We're gonna start by showing off 3 Raiden, Hand of the Lightsworn. Pretty much one of your key components to the engine. So just 3 Raidens, very standard, I think, in a lot of Lightsworn builds using Lightsworn engines. Next, Triple Wolf. People don't like this card, I don't know why. I think Triple Wolf is super important for the deck. It's just a free summon. Like, if you brick it, it sucks. But again, like the plus you get off of it, it's alluring enough that I want to play it. So, Triple Wolf, I think is a must. And then I play the 1 Lumina. A lot of Lightsworn engines will just stop there at the Triple Wolf, Triple Raiden. But I think the 1 Lumina is clutch. It comes in super, super, super clutch. And I'm not even joking about that. Having the ability to search her off of the Charge of the Light Brigade is also really important. And if you mill a Lightsworn off of the Charge of the Light Brigade, you could add Lumina, a normal summon the Lumina, and special summon the Lightsworn that you milled. Especially if that Lightsworn's Raiden, then you're going to mill another 2. So it's a 5 card mill. And she stays on field, she mills 3, which is absolutely insane. Plus, if you brick Wolf in hand, she can unbrick that. You get Snow in hand, you can unbrick that. You get a Zombie in hand, you can unbrick that. Speaking of zombies, you do run the zombie engine, so that's the 3 Shiranui Solitaire. This card is absolutely nuts. It's the 1 card Synchro 8. It is crazy good in this deck. Crazy. There's so many ways that you can do the combos with this, where you don't even need this. As long as you mill it, this deck's so good for not having to start with this card, but it is the best starter card, obviously, for the combo. But not having to start with it is just amazing for the potential just to mill it and then special it out later. Is fantastic. Then you want to play this triple Mizuki. Still extremely important for the combo, obviously, because it's Mizuki, not once per turn. It is nuts. I run the double Uni Zombie, and again for the combo, yeah, basically dumps Mizuki to grave, special summon the Solitaire back out. And again, just for the combo, starting this with a hand, it kind of sucks, but you can get around it with the Lightsworns because they mill so much. And its level manipulation is so good, especially because you're playing the 1 Lumina, and Lumina is a 3. So you can make Lumina the 4 again, and then you can use both his effects once per turn, so you can make them both 4, which is crazy, which is really good. And I run the 1 Shiranui Spirit Master. I ran the Gozuki for a while, but I really needed to make room in the deck for other things. And the Gozuki wasn't doing a lot for me. Again, it is good to guarantee the combo, but I didn't see that as a absolute necessity for this build. I don't see like the point in putting all your eggs in the basket of a Synchro 8, because it's not obviously going to be the best option. So, but the Shiranui Spirit Master obviously can be banished off Snow. Again, it is just going to pop a monster or a card on the field, and it's going to net you plus, which is pretty cool. And if you banish it off with the Shiranui Spirit Master, he's just going to come back as well. So it's a free monster. A really good card. Just you got to run it in the engine. It's absolutely nuts. Then you run the plants as well. You run the triple Lonefire Blossom, you run the triple Predaplant Orphis Scorpio, and then the 1 Darling Cobra as your Garnet. You basically see this, you can pull off any combo you really want. It is crazy in this deck. If you resolve this, you're pretty much just going to win. You're going to make a board that's just ridiculously strong, and if they don't have a Kaiju or a Sphere Mode to out it, you're just going to win. 2 Hat Tricker, the Juggler, and the Trick Clown. Pretty standard clown engine. Basically, you just want to search these, special it, dump this off of literally just anything, out of hand, out of just anywhere, and then special it. Free monster, always good. Pay 1,000 life points to special summon it. This is actually really cool. Hand trap effects are awesome. Plus, just banish it from grave to search the Hat Tricker. Really cool. Really crazy. Really good. Just free. I like free things, and you can't get more free than free monsters. So there you go. 3 Fairy Tale Snow, 60 cards. Usually in a 40 card you only run 2. 60 card you got to run 3 because you just want to see it. Getting multiple snows in grave is game most of the time if you're going first, because you're just going to keep resolving snow and you're going to win. Like you hit, it stops them from link summoning. It's just crazy. Really, really good. And for going second, you got to run some form of hand trap. This was a problem in the last build. 60 cards, it is hard to find the balance of hand traps to monster ratios, but I think the Psy-Frame package is probably the go for Lightsworns, just because you can mill it, draw it in your hand, everything. It's not a sort of total garnet. Plus there have been times when I've just specialed Snow, set a card, and then tributed over Snow for this, and then he is a 2500 beat stick, and that is sometimes all you really need just to push for game, which is actually really, really cool. Then for the one-obs, I run the 1 Giant Rex, special summoned off of Snow. It is really, really cool, and can be special summoned off of your Gold Sark as well if you open it. Gold Sark reads special summon this from deck, which is actually really cool. Yeah, and then the 1 Photon Thrasher, if you open it, it's great. If you open Reinforcement the Army, it's great. It's a free monster, just special summon it. Level 4 light, it has all the like perfect attributes. Warrior, really, really great, really great. The Garnet, again, you just need it for the Brilliant Fusion. And then for my pseudo JDs, because you can't run JD in this build, I'm running 2 Orbital Hydrolander. I don't like it at 3, because you end up getting multiple copies in grey. It just gets too messy. I don't want to see it too much. If I see it, it's just a nice little plus for me. It's a nice little bonus, because I know that that's something they got to deal with. Always putting stuff on the board that your opponent needs to answer is always a good thing in my book. So just having this, it's usually pretty easy to get out. Snow manipulates your grave so much, so it's usually fairly easy and yeah, pretty easy to turn board out if you open it in your opening hand. Then you run 3 Brilliant Fusion. This in tandem with the Plant Engine equals Sahuja, really. It is crazy nuts. It does, you know, it just lets you everything pretty much. It's Brilliant Fusion. It is a brilliant card. Then you want to run the 3 Charge of the Light Brigade. This card is too good for what it is. Not once per turn, mills you 3 and searches your last one. Back when once per turns weren't a thing, this card was still powerful, and we have it at 3 today. So run it at 3. It is nuts. Another card which is nuts but needs a little bit of setup is Solar Recharge. I do run it at 3 because I like to see it with a Lightsworn, and honestly when you're running 3 Charge of the Light Brigade, opening one of that and one of that is just, it's too good. Draws you 2 and mills you 2. It's too good. If you brick Wolf, it just gets it out of your hand. It's amazing. You're running 60 cards, so you got to run 3 Pot of Desires. I ran this at 2 because I didn't want to see it. I didn't want to Desires into a Desires. It is a problem, but again, you're running 60 cards. You got to find a way to start and get through all those cards and just see your engine pieces, and this is the best way to do it. It's crazy good. Another card which I would love to replace in the future if something else comes out that does its job better is triple Slash Draw. You need the Slash Draw because it unbricks your hand, basically get your combo pieces back to deck. It does a lot of things. It's really good for going second. Again, you need the going second power, extra mill, being able to basically put Garnet back into the deck if you draw it is absolutely fantastic. So yeah, at 3 at the moment. Would love to replace it if they come out with something that's slightly better, but again, it's what we have now, so that's what I'm playing. Then you want to play the 1 Monster Reborn, the 1 Soul Charge. You mill 1, you see the other one, you see the other one, you mill 1. It happens every game. You open both of these, you're just going to win. But again, Soul Charge is such a blowout. Again, you're just going to make your board that's pretty much unbreakable. So, unless they have the Kaiju or the, again, the Sphere modes. But, you know, what deck isn't susceptible to Kaijus, but yeah, there you go. Then you want to run the 2 Special Summon from deck card. This one Special Summons Giant Rex. This one Special Summons Wolf. Pretty standard. Actually, this one can actually do a lot more than just Special Summon Wolf. It's crazy. It's a grave deck, so you're going to run Foolish Burial. And this one can actually do a lot more than just Special Summon Giant Rex, because you can banish your Shiranui Spirit Master. Not Shiranui Spirit Master, sorry. You can send your... this one, Shiranui... Oh, it is Spirit Master. Hey, look at that, I was right. You can send your Shiranui Spirit Master to pop a card on field, which is really, really cool. And if you're going into late game and you've banished your Spirit Master already, you can banish your Solitaire to basically just special summon your Spirit Master back out from banish, which is really cool. A lot of versatility in this card, really good. It's only a 1-of, but yeah, again, I wouldn't play it without it. It's just so good. Then I run the 1 Reinforcement of the Army, because Reinforcement of the Army searches Raiden and your Photon Thrasher, and it's really cool. It just really starts your turn off with a strong play. Guarantees a strong play all the time when you open Raider. Then the one card that I'm actually really starting to love is Reasoning. They guess it correctly, they guess it wrong, it's always a plus for you. Like, Grave deck and Field Spam deck, basically best of both worlds. Reasoning is so good. A nice 1-of if you draw it. Can really just change the game state in a lot of instances. Okay, that's it for the main deck. That is 60 cards. Again, that's just how I like to play Lightsworns. Going on to the extra deck. The 1 Gem Knight, Seraph Knight for your Brilliant Fusion. Really cool. I'm so happy it came in secret in Shadows and Valhalla. Really love it. It's really cool. 2 Minerva, the Exalted Lightsworn. A little bit overkill going with 2 Minerva, but I feel it necessary because it's so good late game, it's so good early game. If you use 1 Minerva, I always found myself wanting to go into another Minerva later. So I take it out again, but I just miss it, so I put it back in. And then the 1 Exciton Knight. That is if XYZs. Exciton Knight's in there because it's back at 1, and so you must play it. If your deck easily toolboxes rank 4s, you must run Exciton Knight. It is very standard. It is so good. It's ridiculous. And I don't run Tornado Dragon because I don't feel Tornado Dragon is fantastic. If they put you under Rivalry, they put you under Gozen, you're pretty much just... And it's a sucky situation from you. You're not really going to be making rank 4 anyway. If you do, it's very rare. But again, you just have access to your Link monsters, which are a bit better. But yeah, again, Tornado Dragon, if I was going to take out anything for it, it would be 1 Minerva. But I kept missing the Minerva. So that's it for XYZs. Going into Synchros, I run the 1 Bills of the Diabolical Dragons. Ridiculous. Can be made super easy with the zombie engine. It's a blowout against Dracos. It's so good. If they don't open the skill drain, you're just going to win. It is ridiculous. So Bills, people don't expect it in 2018. Just use summoning Bills onto field, but it's such a it's still such a powerful card that if they don't have a Kaiju to answer it, or they don't have a bounce back to hand, it's going to stick around long enough in the game to where you're going to create your irreversible game state, basically, and you're going to win. Then your Scarlight Red Dragon Archfiend. Like, JD is the best main deck monster. Like, I love JD. Super advocate for decks that can run JD. But because I can't run JD, Scarlight Red Dragon Archfiend does the exact same effect as JD, but also does burn. But JD's better because it can hit everything, while this can only hit special summon monsters. But in 2018, there's not much difference, honestly. And then you run the 1 Omega because you can only run it at 1, so you have to run it at 1. But Omega is still Omega, hits a card in hand. Making them start with 1 this card is always good. Makes going first a bit better, even better basically, because they're just going to start with their 5 cards, which might be all you need, and that 1 card that you hit might be what they needed. Then the basically lifeblood of the deck in 2018 is their Link monsters. Like I've said in the first video, their Link monsters are super, super important to their survival. So you run the 1 Underclock Taker, generic 2. Just generic 2. You make it a lot, and so yeah, you just gotta run it. The 1 Nightmare Phoenix for popping back row. Again, this is basically because you're not running Tornado Dragon, you gotta run Phoenix. And then the Nightmare Cerberus, because you can make a really cool board where they're just pointing to each other, which is really, really cool. So then pointing to each other is obviously not going to be destroyed by battle or card effects. And then again, you can also pop field spells, pop monsters, pop spells, traps, pop monsters, which is really, really cool. The 1 Curious, because Curious is like the best card ever. It's your second copy of Foolish Burial, plus 3 card mill is nuts. So you just got to run it. Super easy to get out in the deck. Super easy to just tutor out with the plant engine. Really, it's amazing. You run 3 different attributes to make it. You run the lights, you run the earth, and then you run the darks. And you can usually make 3 of either of those, which is crazy. The 1 Decode Talker. I replaced this with a Tri-Gate because I wanted to try out the Tri-Gate with pointing to 3 things. And you could do it, which was really cool. But I found myself missing the big boss monster more over everything. And Link 4's, the best ones, require 3+ monsters, which is obviously a big taxing on your field. Again, most of the time they're going to win you the game. But again, like just in case you can't do it, or you can't get to that, can't get those 3 monsters on board, Decode Talker is a big beat stick with a bit of protection. And it's honestly, I just really found myself going, oh yeah, I'm just going to make Decode Talker right now, and I should be, oh wait, I don't have Decode Talker in my extra deck. Crap, that sucks. So yeah, I just took out the Tri-Gate because I couldn't make it all the time, but Decode Talker I can make all the time, which is really, really cool. Well, I mean, I can't make Tri-Gate to where it's great all the time. Then for your big Link 4s, you're going to run the 1 Boral Sword. This deck profile just got really expensive. The 1 Borreload Dragon. These are super necessary. Like, there are win conditions in and of themselves. And Lightsworns don't have a main deck win condition per se. Their whole win condition is their extra deck, so you need to really stock your extra deck with the expensive stuff. The whole Lightsworn main deck is cheap. Try to invest more into the extra deck. It is where they shine. It is what they do. They just generate so much advantage through their extra deck that basically you just want to get the best things for them. If you don't want to go with the sword and the load, actually I recommend still going with load because even out of the tins it got a lot cheaper. So don't go first eds. Go tin reprints and go cheaper. For sword, there's really no replacement for sword, but you can go something in the top of the logic line, or you could go a Nightmare Griffin. It is still a really cool play. You lock your opponent out of non-linked monsters, which is pretty cool. But yeah, super advocate for sword. It is such a good card. It is really cool. Yeah, and then the last card you run, which is no debates, you need to run it. The best card in the extra deck is Sayuja Scoldy. Basically, just pick it up from the tins. It's like $15 Australian. Like, don't get first eds. Like me, I like to spend money, but you don't need to. You can do it cheap in the smart way. Just get it. Lightsworns make it first turn every turn. I can pretty much guarantee that the deck will make it. You will use it for its 4 effect, and you're going to draw into something good. Like 100%. Fixing your hand is so good in this deck when you're running like Garnets. Like you're just running Garnets again, Garnets. Wolf, Garnet, and Cobra. You do not want to open those. So, Sayuja, if you can make it, do it. Fix your hand. You're good to go. That special summon, that special summon you get off of him as well is crazy good. Like you'll make the Sayuja like a Bills and a Cerberus pointing to a Phoenix. It's nuts. Like that is like a crazy good board you can make going first. Really hard to out unless they have the Kaijus. But yeah, that's all for the extra deck. Really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, this has been a real passion project for me. I've loved Lightsworn since they first came out. It was one of the first structure decks I ever bought. So just really fun to keep working on this deck. And especially with the new Link monsters that have been coming out. They've just been getting better, more consistent. Not top tier, not like tier 0, but they can still hold their own against the meta, which is really cool. The deck is very win the lottery or bust, but you win the lottery, you win the game. It's really cool. You gotta remember your outs, you remember your Snow and Grave. Snow can do so much. Just remember those key things. A Shiranui Spirit Master, again, is something that people often forget that they can do with the Banish Snow, Solitaire, Shiranui Spirit Master, Special Master pop cards. It does a lot more than just make Synchro 8s, so just keep that in mind. And a bad hand can be a good hand. Yeah. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, tell me what you thought, and we'll see you guys next time.
The apocalypse.